So, of course, when you move something, you find Tiki's toys. Okay, next is the cart. The bottom is coloring supplies, sparkly pens, markers, book murdering supplies. They serve many purposes. And thankfully, the little monster, of course, now that I say that, she'll probably start, has not been helping herself to my pens and running off with them. On shelf number 2, there are 14 books. I've only read 2 of them. 6 are other books, as in reference referral, and 6 go on my TBR. So books that I wouldn't read, and yes, I kept the dragon sticker on here, is a book on gemstones, because that's a referral book. I have my new card decks in here on the bird messages and numerology. A Bilbo journal that came in a set and I still haven't used, partly because I always worry, oh, what if I make a mistake? Then I have a few of my tarot books. I still need to read Crowley's Book of Thoth, Tarot Interactions, Tarot for Self-Discovery, 2 books on alchemy, Dream Alchemy, which I have read by Ted Andrews, Rhythm Alchemy, which I need to finish by Martin Ivanov, The Philosopher's Stones, that came with the set, relates to numbers and alchemy, so that really isn't a front-to-back read. Moon Magic, a pretty shiny book I have recently acquired. 2 books on Rider-Waite Tarot. Yes, I have done Around the Tarot in 78 days, but I didn't do it the way they have it set up in the book. That was a fun experience. The Psychic Side of Dreams, Hans Holzer, and How to Meet and Work with Spirit Guides, that is a Ted Andrew. Looking forward to those reads. I'll get there eventually. The top is, well, craft supplies I need to find somewhere for. I have glow-in-the-dark gems that I need to decide where I'm going to put them and how to display them. Yes, I have an old school contact people book because, you know, things happen with tech, as I've learned recently. Thank you, YouTube. Your Quantum Breakthrough Code. This is by Sandra Ann Taylor. I have read this before. I also have a workbook on the runes, a guide to shadow work, healing properties of trees. I've gone through this at least 3 or 4 times. Rituals for self-care, nice variety of things to really focus on self. Some are just take a few minutes, some take longer. 369 Laws of Attraction, that's based on Tesla and numbers. 3-minute Positivity Workbook, which the activities are not 3 minutes, just saying. 52 Weeks to Better Mental Health, haven't started that one yet. 365 Days, 365 Peaceful Days to Color, so every day you have a different picture. Some of the pictures are quite intricate, so I don't know how you would finish them in a day. New Paths to Animal Totems, I've read a couple times. This is by Lupa and, of course, through Llewellyn. Star Magic, Sandra Kynes, also Llewellyn, and she's the one who has the correspondences book, so just some different astrology and star information there. Actually, here I have an introduction to Moonology. I picked this up at one of the psychic fairs here in the city. It's fascinating. It goes through the phase of the moon when you were born, information, an intro to astrology and parapsychology. This is from a program that I took, a correspondence course. So yes, I do have a certificate in parapsychology. And this is a notebook I need to decide what I'm going to do with. And yes, glow in the dark. So I need to find a better place to put that. The number crunch for the top shelf, 14 books in total. 3 of them I've read, 2 go on my TBR, and 9 fall under the other categories. There are the books on the cart explained. So I'm going to move Tiki's toy and we'll move on to the bookcase. Also, if you've been here for a while, you know this is a very special bookcase. This is a bookcase that was made at the vocational school where I used to work, and it was made by Mallory. So every time I look at it, I remember her and it's great memories. The top shelf are my pagan books. So, of course, Wikipedia, only wiki I trust. Have a number of Edwin McCoy's, and yes, you will notice these are all Llewellyn. Dancing with Dragons. We have a book on witchcraft. We have my dragon water globe. And we have a dragon with her baby. And again, a green earth find. I miss that store a lot. Number of other books here. My lovely pewter figurines. We have the light bearer. And of course our witch with her broom. And of course her cat. My Anne Mura books, Scott Cunningham, Buckland, Starhawk. My 2012 Almanac because, hello, dragon on the front. Channeled work, Edwin McCoy. In Praise of the Crone is for women dealing with menopause. It was a great read and personally helped me a lot. I didn't end up doing hormone therapy or any of that stuff. Although in my case, it came up in the midst of the back injury and so many other things going on. But this book was very helpful in terms of putting things into perspective and not totally losing it. But I've said before, I don't do spells and things like that. If you do, that's awesome. It's not my thing. I'm about nature and learning about the herbs and moving with the cycles of the earth. But it is a book I recommend if you're coming up towards menopause, even if you've gone past it. It's just a great perspective on being a woman and older. The last 3 books, Green Witch was an amazing read. I love that she's got simple, easy to do things daily. Holistic Energy Magic. This is by Whitehurst. Again, great ideas. Same with Everyday Witchcraft. It isn't about the woo-woo out there dancing around stuff. It's about the setting positive intentions and living in harmony with people and nature. So when you're stirring your coffee, think about setting your intentions for the day and sending that energy to your coffee. It's about being mindful of what's growing in your garden, what lives on the plants, the bees, the insects, etc. The Earth Path by Starhawk is about permaculture and being realistic in this age of technology and other things. You can't keep shying away from it, but when you can simplify, then do it. Like, she's not preachy about it, she's realistic. So on this shelf, I have 40 books. I've read 24 of them. 8 go on my TBR. 7 fall under the other classification. The next shelf has to do with Bible studies and other beliefs. But before we get to the books, this used to be in my resource room. Just Be You, everyone else is already taken. My gratitude jar that I need to update, and it's just a plain mason jar with little sticky notes. Lovely candle from Moon Mania. They're toxin-free, plant-based, crystal infused. So yes, you do get a crystal when you buy the candle. I need to check out if this company is still here. Such beautiful people I met at a display workshop type thing a few years ago. This is also from my old resource room. It's just an old can, my coin collector, and the sticky is from a student. Love, you're wonderful, Tiana. So it's a great way to remember, even though I haven't saved coins in here for a bit. And she cracks me up. It cracks me up every time I look at this. And Tiana used to love saying, thanks, I don't need you anymore. No, she wasn't being rude. It's my favorite quote from the book Crab. And Mary is telling the main character the best compliment you could ever give a teacher is, thanks, I don't need you anymore, because it means you've done your job well and the student can carry on their own with the lessons and confidence you've given them. I love this paperweight. This again was a Green Earth find, and the different colors of white, red, and black, which I really need to make more note of that, because that has also just come up in the Fingerprints of the God reread that I'm doing. Okay, as far as the books, again, I have a variety. We've got A Brief Guide to Secret Religions. I have a copy of the Holy Bible. I have the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. Yes, I also have Starhawk's Pagan Book of Living and Dying. Some stuff on angels. Lives of the Saints was a gift to me from my grandmother, making it decades old, because she passed when I was 18. So this book is very special. The English-French Dictionary belonged to my uncle, who came over from Hungary to Canada, but I never had an opportunity to meet him. He passed before I was born, but I was blessed to get his English-French dictionary. Very important books, not necessarily because of the material inside. Other things that I have here, Tao Te Ching, the I Ching. Here is the abridged version of the Golden Bough. I now have the Golden Bough again. Again, a special book, Everyday Life in Bible Times. This was a gift from one of my students. So with a number of books that I have, it isn't necessarily the material in the book, it's the memories and the people that go with the material. I have a book on the Dead Sea Scrolls that I have yet to read, another copy of the Bible, because I want to start annotating and pulling things together in terms of the Da Vinci Code, other stuff. A book about world religions, The Idiot's Guide to the Bible, which I'm going to work through as I start working through the Bible. Prophecy Made Easy. We have books on the Templars. This is going to be a brutal read, but The Malus Maleficarum, The Witch's Hammer. The reason I am going to read that is to try and understand how people could have been so utterly taken in by a very corrupt and twisted group of men. I figure it's timely considering what we're seeing in the world right now. And yeah, I just truly don't know or understand how people could have done those horrific things based on this document. But then I don't understand what the hell I'm seeing in the world right now. The Pagan Christ was an amazing read. This is by Tom Harper, and there was a lot of interesting information in here. I particularly enjoyed the work, not just because he also happens to be a Canadian, but he's a former Anglican priest. By all means, someone who certainly understands what's written in the Bible, the comparisons, and I love the title, Recovering the Lost Light. It's a very hopeful book. I definitely enjoyed the read. his unbiased presentation. It was food for thought. In my recent book haul, I did mention, yes, The Black Arts by Richard Kavanagh. This is a 50th anniversary edition. I think it was a few years ago that it was the 50th, and I'll be honest, I was just shaking my head going, holy carp. God Code, Greg Braden, I've read a few of his works, some from the library. Nephilim, Book on Angels. This is a reference as it goes front to back on all of them. Then we have The Celestial Dragon I Ching. The Perfect Heresy, I have read at least once, possibly twice. It is about the church wiping out the Cathars because, I'm sorry, but the Catholic Church has a very gruesome, bloody history, as do many of the various religions. And that makes me sad because I'm pretty sure that's not what the powers that be intended. That was humans twisting things, and we'll leave it at that. The Essence of Tao, Gnostics, Pagan Christianity, Mary Magdalene. These two are also angels, cosmic messengers, and then books on ancient Egypt and meditations as well. The second shelf, there are 42 books. 19 of them I've read. 16 go on the TBR. The bottom shelf is all about different healing modalities. So we have sound healing, Reiki, crystals, color, essential oils, arthritis information, because that's part of my chronic pain issue in my lumbar and it's spreading. The reflexology, theta healing, and my Reiki bear. And if you do Reiki and have done training, you'll know why I have a little bear for that. Although when I do distance healing, I typically, because of my visualization, which I'm lucky to be able to do, I don't often use the little bear. Actually, I don't think I've ever used the little bear, but he's cute and he's my little Reiki reminder. Now, there are 2 books that I had downstairs that I brought up, so I'll need to add them to that top shelf, so I'll factor them in to the numbers here. So the numbers for the bottom shelf, as far as the books themselves, or as far as the shelf itself, 31 books, 14 go on the TBR, 9 I've read, and 8 fall into the other category. This basket is easy because those are all my books read, so nothing to add on the TBR there. The cubes. This is my out-of-the-box happy place reading. We have psychics, we have ghost stories, we have paranormal investigators, we have horror stories, we have a twinkly vampire, we have reincarnation, just a whole lot of interesting things. We have cryptids, Dracula, In Search of Dracula. I have some Sylvia Browne, I have Nostradamus. This is all Edgar Cayce, and I need to get this read before I make my video, Hoax or Holy Grail, on Edgar Cayce. In the back, but sadly the lighting isn't very good, are all my Canadian ghost stories and other ghost stories, Haunted Canada and the Lone Pine series. Back here is mainly the paranormal investigators and different studies. And back there are my horror story collections. The number count. The bottom here, there are 26 books. I've read 17 and only 9 go on the TBR. The top, 27 books total. 15 of them have been read. 12 go on my TBR. 25 books, 14 are read, 11 go on the TBR, and in the bottom, 21 books, 11 read, yay me, 9 go on the TBR, 1 falls in the other category, and that would be the Encyclopedia of Ghosts and Hauntings. Now, this, which needs to be organized. The herbarium is a collection of cards. There's 100 cards that talk about herbs, harvesting, and uses of them. So here we have 2 Wheel of Time I need to get to. Setting these up as my studies, so I have The Artist's Way, Witch Alone, The Complete Guide to Astrological Self-Care. That was a new find, which I think I forgot to mention in the book hauls. We have Margaret Pinard's Grasping Root, Drawing Down the Moon, which I'm working my way through. The Wanderer's Handbook, the 3 Convoluted Universe books by Canon. I need to get book 1. I did finally finish Journeys with Plant Spirits, yay! And I need to finish 10 Tales of Transformation by Gareth Howells. So up there I have 14 books. 7 of them are read. 2 fall in the other category, as in programs or reference. And 5 go on the TBR. That leaves everything scattered along the desk, which I need to find again. There are 29 books. 27 were in my latest book haul. Discovery of Witches came up from downstairs. H.P. Lovecraft just arrived recently. So out of the 29, I have read 3, meaning I just added 26 more to my already big TBR. But that's okay. I have more Dresden Files. I have a Stephen King I'm looking forward to. This is an intuitive drawing journal. Oh, so that means 25, because a drawing journal isn't a reading book. Woohoo! So there we go. 1 less on the TBR. And this is definitely going to be a series of videos. That's part 2. All the books scattered around my reading room, but now I can actually get them put away